Lotion.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and they're probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Yeah, tell them I sent you.
Using OG Network 26 promo code to get
15% off your purchases of $35 or more. Tell them I sent
that's
you.
right. Tell them that Ron sent you. The OG Network sent you.
Yeah, make sure y'all take advantage of that promo code OG Network 26. That's OG Network 26. And you get 15% off all of your purchase of top to bottom hair and skincare products if you spend $35 or more. And believe me when I tell you, I already did it. Discount works out very, very well, especially when I was buying my Vanilla Bean body wash. When I place my next order, that means I can get 2 body washes because it's going to be a discount in it. Because I'm definitely going, I got to get me some too. Like, really, I got so much stuff going on, I ain't got time for nothing.
Hey, man. You know we're here
But,
for you.
It is what it is. Thank God I bought the other 2 body washes for my Vanilla Bean right now. I still had something to wash my behind. I like the other 2 too. But my Vanilla Bean, it's running out.
And how many people try to commandeer that vanilla?
Oh, it was getting used up. The other 2 never got touched until the vanilla got so low that they
Then they
start
start.
feeling bad that they was using up all my vanilla bean. And he was
That's
like, you
all
know
right.
what?
We don't use most of it. We can go back to the other stuff.
Let me go back to the other stuff now. I'm like, man,
Good
it's cool
gracious.
though. It's all good, man. Because when you washing it, man, the scent, I love the smell of vanilla, so you
Right,
just smell
right.
it everywhere. But
Yeah.
it's really good. It was really good, man. But y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it very, very much. Again, welcome to Firearms Fridays, where we talk everything gun related, knives related, weapons related. We're not related, but we are related. Not
There
blood
you go.
related, but we YouTube related and
That's right. That's right. That's
something
right.
like
That's right.
that.
That's right.
But anyway, we don't know everything ain't always serious with us. We laugh, we joke, we have fun, we enjoy ourselves. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna get into it. I noticed that my brother have a whole lot going on down here. Y'all, y'all can't see what I see. So I'm just giving y'all an idea that he got a lot going on down here. We don't know where this is gonna go today, but we gonna definitely get into it, my brother. Um, why I see something look like an animal though?
There's no animals down there.
Well, you know how the picture looks small and it probably look like something that it ain't.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm looking at Gun Talk 5 MP4, whatever. I don't know. And
Yeah.
right now they look like the Predator to me.
Well, damn. I didn't think that one, but okay. Okay.
I just was trying to figure out what the heck that was.
All right. Well, if you want to see it, we can be more than glad to present it, and then we can talk about it. There's
All
not going
right.
to be any sound because we know. Let me get me.
Yeah.
I was very comfortable there for a moment. I got to sit up. Hold on now. I was doing my old man lean. I got to sit up. So we know that we cannot have any actual sound to firing a weapon.
Right.
That's first and foremost. Yet we can still see the videos, but we're just not able to have any sound. So
Right.
hopefully our viewers and and people in the comments area would understand why it cannot be done. And if you don't know, I'm not going to explain it. It's just real simplified. You just not allowed to do it. So we have several videos. Of course, we're going to give gratitude and we're going to big old shout out to Survival Sisters Foundation. These are
Okay.
I have not found out where they're located just as of yet because I came across these videos yesterday, and with all the things I've been doing, I haven't had time to dive deep on where they're located. Yet they do have a YouTube channel. They are very prominent on YouTube. I guess they're up and coming. because their numbers are low as far as subscribers. Yet on their Facebook side seems to be getting more traction because
Okay.
of the trainers that are involved with them. So I'm guessing the male trainers and the other female trainers are more exposed to Facebook versus YouTube. Yet I
Okay.
found them on both sides, right? And with tonight's segment, I just picked 5 or 6 of my favorite clips
Okay.
because we know how we talk about how training is very very important,
Right.
from drills in your home to going to the gun range, learning about weapons, learning how to fire weapons, understanding how dangerous the weapon can be before you even put your hands on it is very
Right.
crucial, right? And we've talked about pistols, shotguns, BMGs is what I want to call it, gauntlet guns. I mean, we've covered a
Yeah.
plethora of weapons.
Revolvers, rifles.
Right, right. And we've seen how, give a big old shout out to Red Phoenix and her husband. When we
Right.
first on our first couple of episodes, we spoke about her and her collection of firearms and how well she does with her weapons. And she's not really so much an advocate for weapons; she's more advocate for holsters for weapons,
Mhm.
especially when it
Yeah.
comes to women. So that's her thing. And big old shout out to her because she does show a plethora of different ways to get a holster on a female where it doesn't have to be shown as she's actually carrying her weapon, whatever
Right.
it may be. So that's a great thing that Red Phoenix has done. Now back to the Survival Sisters Foundation, which is what we're going to see a couple of videos on them. They are in training by, I'm going to say, I want to say gun experts. Not knowing if the guys are experts or not, yet they are actually training them on how to use certain weapons. And
Right.
certainly the weapons that I've chose, the video clips I've chose were based on how you, specifically Ron, how you always say you want to feel the kickback of the weapon. So that was definitely one of the
This should
reasons
be
why I
fun.
chose these five. And I chose these five based off of the frames of the women that are using these weapons. And
Okay.
of course, it's interesting because you know how they say, well, I remember when I was a kid growing up, and I got my hands on the first time when I had we had a conversation one time before about this on one of our segments about how many booms did it take before you actually started feeling it. And
Right.
when I was a kid, of course, the very first boom, because it was a Mossberg 503 that actually almost took my whole half of my back out, and we laughed about it. So I want to talk about these videos and get a view on how important it is not only for training but also for women that do want to get into it and dive deep into it for either a protection and or, as you always say, and I quote you on this statement, government tyranny, to be ready.
Right.
Okay, because one of the biggest things is if someone comes at you, you have to be ready to take them on pretty much in the same tactical form that they come at you. And that was what gives you the advantage, in my perspective, rather. If you train the same way the government trains, the chances of them taking you out is slim to none because they're fighting their own, if that makes any
Right.
sense. So,
Yeah, because you know tactical. You know their tactics.
right. So it's kind of interesting. I got one video clip up here that we're not going to have any sound, but yet you can actually see how it's working out. Right. So with that being said, if you don't mind, we're going to start off with a funny, right? Because I always
Okay.
believe in
I like
humor.
funny.
Okay. Let's have a couple of laughs and let's take it away if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Now,
They,
I'm having a
so,
hard. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so they attached a flamethrower to a 50 BMG rifle. That's badass. I like it.
I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding why would they do that.
Why not?
I mean, let's think about. Let's
Listen,
go ahead.
I like the idea. Hit her with the BMG and then burn all the evidence.
Burn all the evidence. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm just kidding around, but
No, that's fine. That's fine. Listen,
I,
that's what we're here to do. We're here to actually have fun while we talk about these things.
yeah, that's I would have never like. First of all, BMG's got a little weight to it, so I gotta give her
A little.
kudos.
There you go. There you go.
I gotta give her props that she's holding up. You know, they weigh about 30 pounds.
Right.
Now, of course, she's not firing it, but the fact that she's holding that weight the way she's holding it, I gotta give her kudos on that one. That they're not light to hold. And then you figure the
No,
tripod, the scope, and then the flamethrower on there. She
right.
probably sitting there holding it well over 30 pounds from me.
Oh, definitely weighing over 30 pounds. Definitely, definitely. And the interesting is that she doesn't even have a magazine in there with the, the very heavy bullets. So
Right.
yeah, kudos to her for holding 35 plus pounds so comfortably and maneuvering the way she is with the flamethrower. As I sat there and I was watching this video when it came up on my feed, I was like, well, damn, Arnold Schwarzenegger would be proud. Again, it's not easy to do that. Yet to
No,
me, the flamethrower on a 50 BMG, I'm like, okay, well, what would be the reason for you to need a flamethrower if you're trying to hit something that's definitely over 2 miles away? I mean, like,
yeah.
unless you're doing something with Jurassic Park, with dinosaurs and rhinos, that maybe an elephant, that might be the reason why you need a flamethrower. But hey,
If you shoot something, once it dies, you burn it up.
yeah, you get ready to cook it. You
There
absolutely
you
right.
go. Right. So you ain't got to worry about going to get no grill, no nothing.
No,
Kill the
nothing.
animal, set them on fire. We all got a meal.
That's right. That's right. I agree. I agree. All right. So this one here that we're going to talk about momentarily is something that you and I have not, if I could recall correctly, we never touched on this subject. And when we speak or when we hear you and when we have these conversations and we talk about government tyranny, this is a subject or a part of the tactic that you and I that I recall never spoke of. Now, I remember I'd done training for this, and it's bad that I didn't even think about it either to bring it up in any of our segments. So let me play this, and you tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
So
Gas mask.
there you go. Now, if we recall, I always go back to Waco, Texas, and the takeover of that man's farm bunker, whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
and how they were all hit with tear gas, smoke grenades, and flashbangs.
Mm-hmm.
All these secondary or treachery devices to make you disoriented. Better yet said, I don't recall you and I ever talking about something of this nature.
No.
So I know you do a lot of drills. I don't do drills like that. There's no need for it. I don't think there's a need for it because, of course, I have 3 different styles of protection besides the firearms. And I never thought about this, honestly. I never thought about obtaining a gas mask, an updated gas mask, for this same reason. Because even if it was not, and understand this, if it's not government tyranny and it's just a group of people who want to do harm,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to be ready for that in this
Right.
mannerism. You would have to have a gas mask for that
Right.
reason. Either A, for your own self, if they throw tear gas at you,
Mm-hmm.
yet turn the table around, you throw tear gas at them, they're not expecting tear gas. Now you pull out your mask. Isn't that much faster way to take out your opponent?
Yeah. Now, of course. Now, it's funny you say that um about the gas mask because I have about 30 of them.
What? You have 30 gas masks in your possession?
Not That's probably a little more higher quality when I have. All right, so um, you ever heard of a company called Draeger?
Yes. Please
They
pardon the
make
moon
them.
pop.
They make them.
Right.
Now, of course, these ones are probably outdated, but they would throw them away in the garbage.
And you
And the
snatched
government
them
made
up.
them do it. They say, "No, you had them for over a year or so, and they make them throw them away, waste them." How does a gas mask go bad?
It doesn't.
My point exactly, but the government will make them get rid of them because they make them for the fire department. They make them for all the military. They make a lot of this stuff.
Right.
They would throw them in the dumpster.
That's not smart because now a gas mask will only go bad, and this I know for sure, is if it's a rubberized mask. If it's 99% rubber, you have to treat it. You have to put oil on it. You have to always make sure that it stays soft. You know, there's a thing back in the day
My,
that
my
they
thing
were
is
called
this: it's,
elephant grease.
it's best to have something than nothing.
True.
So
Very
if
true.
you're gonna throw these things in the trash, I'm gonna go get them out the trash.
This is true.
And that's how I ended up with. So it's not like I went out and bought them. I'm like, I mean, it's crazy some of the stuff they would throw away. They would throw away scuba gear,
Now, scuba gear, I could understand because
right?
depending
Because
on
you're
the
going
scuba,
in the water, right? You're going in the water. But my point
and
is that
it takes. I went diving once,
right,
and I said once because I wanted to try it out. It's not a very.
I never went diving, and I ain't going to.
I ain't gonna try it again. I can tell you like that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun when I tried it. It was a lot of fun, but I won't do it again. And to maintain that suit to always be flexible, if I remember correctly, it takes a lot. It's not that easy. It's not
Because I'm a
elements.
very good swimmer, but I ain't going scuba diving,
Well, you shouldn't go scuba diving if you're not a good swimmer.
huh? No, I'm a very good swimmer, but I'm not going scuba diving.
Why not?
You notice something about me fishing, Jay? You know where I'm at when I fish?
Yeah, you feed the
I'm
fish.
on
Yeah,
I'm on land. I'm on the
yeah,
land, right?
yeah,
All right. That water is not my turf. It's like you from New York, right? I'm from Philly.
yeah.
Now we know that if you in New York and you go on someone else's turf, you at their mercy. So if I go scuba diving and there's a great white shark looking at me saying, "Why are you on my turf?"
Oh damn, Ron. Please, no.
and they just looking at me, "Why are you on my turf? Why are you here?" And I'm looking at the shark like, I know I shouldn't have never did this. Yeah, nah, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Well, that explains a whole different ballgame. It's not that you cannot be in the ocean. You can be. You just believe, like many other people believe, that the great white shark or just a shark in general is going to come and attack you. It's
well, my thing is this: when they say, "Oh, sharks," it's just a case of mistaken identity. I get it, but I still don't have my leg.
that's why that's the
So
reason why when you go
there's some
scuba
mistaken
diving,
identities you don't want to experience because once that shark,
well, that's why you're supposed to take a blowgun with you.
I don't care. You seen the size of a great white?
Yes,
That's my point.
I've seen the skeletons. I know how big they are.
I'm not going in the water with none of that stuff. I'm good.
Well, we're gonna leave that one for another segment because look,
Listen, I fish. I don't even mind being on the boats. I've been on the boat. But when you dive into the water, like, I'm going to jump right in the shark's mouth.
so
Like, what
so
you know what I mean? Like, I watch people that scuba dive and they do all of them, be surprised when one of these fish or shark or something else down there, they get hurt by it. Oh, it's not the shark's fault. I know it's not the shark's fault. You on that turf, stupid.
yeah, I get
You're a
what you're
fool.
saying.
Now, listen, if the shark come on my turf, now you fool.
Well,
See
well,
how that works? If a shark jump out the water and he on my turf, I get to fillet him and eat them. If I'm on his turf, he get to fillet me and eat me.
you're a fool. You're a fool. I said you're a fool. You're a fool. With that being said, I'm gonna tell you like this: the worst animal to come across in the ocean, believe it or not, is a jellyfish.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to get into that. Them jellyfish, they tear you up, and they ain't even trying to.
But they ain't trying to. Yeah, that is a definite moment of you on the wrong side of the edge of the water.
Yeah, man.
That's what that is.
Imagine you going through when it's a harvest a bunch of them, and you
Listen,
got no way to. Yeah, see right there, see that right there. Nah, I'm
I,
good.
I had that experience one time in Key West, Florida, when I lived down in Florida.
You
I
guys
was on
stung
the
by
pier.
jellyfish?
No, I didn't get stung. I was
Oh,
about to jump in the water. I was about to jump in the water off the pier, and before I jumped, I looked down and I seen nothing but a. It looked like a silhouette just glazed the water.
oh, they were waiting on you.
The first thing I said was, I got to look closer because I had to look to see if I could see something that resonated as a jellyfish, and it actually came out, and I saw one of the tentacles move. I said, "Oh, damn!" I mean, it looked like a damn. You remember? Well, you work at Home Depot, so you remember the drop cloth, the clear drop cloth they used for painting, the 14
Mm-hmm.
by 14. It looked like three of those put together, straight on top of the
Wow,
water. If
wow.
I would have jumped in, it would have been
You would have been jumping out.
there'd be no more of me. We would not be having this conversation right now if I would have jumped in that water. That's how many
See,
there
there
were.
you go. There you go. That's why you're not supposed to go on other people's turf.
Yeah, as long as you respect it, it's good. I knew not to jump in, but I don't mess with
Yeah,
jellyfish.
I
Hell
couldn't do
no.
it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. And I see people, they got those thick rubber suits on and stuff like that, but I couldn't
Right.
do it, bro.
I did it. I had a lot of fun. It's to take it aside for a quick moment. It's just an experience that you should try out. But I wouldn't.
Uh-huh.
I know I would not continue doing it. I did it once. That's it. Real simple.
I scuba dive in a swimming pool.
Well, that's where the training starts.
That's all
Believe it or
I
not,
need right there. Suit
training starts.
on, I'm in water, no fish, no sharks. All right, got what I need. I'm out.
I mean, it's just the experience to go deep where you've never gone before. It's almost like Star Trek to go where no man has gone before.
Some places you ain't supposed to be. I'm just saying.
This is true. This
If,
is
if,
true.
if I decide to go hang out in a herd of elephants and I get stomped by an elephant, that was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be.
True. True. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
But
All
no,
right.
I'm just kidding around, man.
No, I
Go
got
ahead.
you. You good. So you ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All
So
right,
again,
y'all.
this is thanks to big old shout out to Survival Sisters Foundation. There's a bunch of women who are being trained by. Again, I haven't dived into it, but they are definitely being trained by a bunch of guys, probably former military, probably ex-police. Unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't dived into it, but there is a foundation called Survival Sisters, right? So let's take a look at another video here.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Say what you want to say. That is the reaction that most people that ever use a firearm does.
I agree to that.
That is most people's experience when it comes to using a firearm. Look at that excitement.
That is pure 100% excitement.
Excitement. Look. She fanning herself and everything. You know what this means.
Yes. It was even more interesting when I saw it at the very end. I don't know if you can catch this. Let me see if I can back this up a little bit. Look at what she talks when she talks about the back foot.
Right, because it was the momentum pushing her back. She
Yep.
had to brace herself.
Yep. So even there, she's saying that she could feel that kick, and it was a great kick. She loved that
Yeah,
feeling, and
I
she's
know
just
the feeling.
surprised on how her foot was moving back
I love the
as
feeling.
as as she was doing it, and that
I,
was clearly pure enjoyment.
yeah, I listen, man. Look, I was enjoying it with her. Like, yes. Like I said, you know me. I love the kick. Like when I start hearing these people talking about, oh, less recoil, it already starts to turn me off because when I go to the range, I love that, that punch that it gives you when you fire in the range.
Right, right, right.
I love that punch. So it's like, and then for me, I just want to like, I've never tested my endurance when it comes to how many rounds I'm be able to withstand before I get to the point where I had to put it down. So I'm going to do that one day.
You
What I'm
haven't got
going
to
to
that
do,
point.
huh? Say that
You
again.
haven't gotten to that point yet. You have not
No,
gotten to
because
that point yet.
I never intentionally did it that way. Like this time,
Okay.
I'm gonna do it with the intent that I'm gonna load up the rounds and I'm gonna see how many rounds I'm gonna be able to. Because I never actually like my stuff got tripods on them, so I can sit it down and fire without actually chucking it too hard and stuff. I've never.
Right.
I mean, my 458 I have shouldered, but I don't know where. And I've shot in quite a few rounds out of it, but I never actually said how far could I take it before it takes its toll on my shoulder. I'm like, nah. Yeah,
Right.
right.
Right. Right. Right. Right.
I've had times where I say, oh, okay, I'm good, and put it down. But that wasn't me really testing my endurance on it. It was just, I feel like I had enough or giving somebody. And then when I'm with somebody, I want to let them get a chance to, what I mean,
Right.
enjoy
Right. Right.
themselves. So I try not to take too much of the fun, even though sometimes I want to. Now, when I go by myself, then I can do what I want to do and I ain't
The
worried
glove
about
come off. Right.
it. When the gloves come off, I ain't got to worry about it. But when you go to the range with other people, especially if they haven't been or don't go out often, and you're kind of hosting it. The one thing you don't want to do is mess up the experience for everybody else. I got firearms. I can go other times. My whole intent when I go to the firearm is to let everybody else enjoy themselves as much as possible, and make the experience the best possible for them. I can
Right.
always go get my experience when I'm there on my own, or when I'm with experienced gunfighters. I mean, people, where I don't have to worry about be so more in the sense of trying to promote them.
Right. Right. Right.
All right, we're gonna bring that statement up. Despite being little armor fire, a flame thrower is not legally considered a firearm.
There's truth to that. It's not a fire. It's not considered a firearm, yet it is an actual firearm.
And but here's a funny thing. That I had a
How is
thought.
it called a firearm if it's not throwing fire?
Meanwhile, it should technically be called a firearm because it's throwing fire and you're holding it in your arm.
This is true. As opposed to a flamethrower, because it's not really throwing it, it's just extending it from a device. It's not throwing. So, let's
Yeah.
let's not give the powers that be any more ammunition to keep certain things away from us.
Right. But
That's the better thing.
like I said, I love the recoil, man. I enjoy it, but I do want to one day test my my physical endurance to how many rounds. And the 5.56, it does have kick, but it's not a shoulder beat.
Right.
Now the 458, yeah, 12 gauge shotgun, yeah. Those are guns that have enough kick that you're gonna feel it in your shoulder after a while.
Facts. Facts.
So one day I am going to test that theory of how many, because we had that conversation, how many shotgun slugs
How many
will I
wounds
be
would
able
it take?
to, before, how many on my shoulder be able to take
Right.
before I say, yeah, that's enough.
Ow. Be like a Tootsie Roll Pop. Ow, ow, ow,
Yeah.
ow. Now,
I think,
interesting. Hold on. Now, interesting thing that you just said there. Did you ever see the video of the guy who literally put I think it was a 4.56. He put it on fire because he was running so many rounds through it, including the silencer.
yeah, I think so. You sure it was a 458? Or was it a 5.56?
I thought it was a 4.58.
It might have been, because I got a lot of videos of 458 people shooting them and testing them out. Um,
This one literally just melted. He melted it.
and I know it was, a matter of fact, I think you sent me the video. And
I might have.
he was just dumping rounds and dumping rounds and dumping
He was in
rounds.
a full bomb suit. He had a full bomb suit on. And he just kept loading it and racking and firing that thing right through that damn silencer went like this. And then the whole damn thing went the same way, just started melting from the heat.
Yeah, because it ain't but so at some point it's gonna have as a pack, it's metal, steel.
Yeah. But I mean,
If
just
you keep firing gunpowder and through that, at some point if you keep doing it, I mean you already feel the heat from them when you start to run rounds to them. Like I've gotten moments where the heat on the gun was just like the one to my right, I guess. If you look at the cage on it, you notice how wide the cage is apart.
right.
The meat of my hand had went pushed through there enough that it came close enough to the barrel.
Okay.
That was the reason why I put the handle on it.
Okay.
because one day I'm firing it, I got it like this, and I'm holding it, and that meat from my like right here, that all that meat on there started pushing through that metal, and I felt the heat getting close to my hand. I was like, oh yeah, nah, I got so that cage on there has a lot of space between each like it's real a whole lot of space between them. So I was like, nah, man. That's what made me put the handle on there.
Right, right.
But the 458 SOCOM has a different cage on there. I don't have to worry about that because the cage isn't um you don't have a lot of space between them at all.
Okay, okay.
So but that other the 556 do, and I was running some rounds through there, and I probably got close to about 30 rounds. You know, that barrel started to heat up. I said, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
I put something on there.
it starts to melt. It starts to melt. You got a problem, straight up. Let me know if if this look familiar to you down there.
Is that the one? That looks like it's the one, ain't it? Is that the video?
That's the video.
Yeah, it looked like it. I can't really tell totally, but yeah, I get this down there.
This guy, that's all he does. That's all he does. This is the M16 one. But this
Wow.
guy here, see how that thing just melted?
Yeah. Done.
Done, done, done.
Done. I wonder how many. How I forget how. I know he was well into the thousands of rounds at one point before it really started to heat up that much. But you
Definitely.
had to be real quick
Absolutely.
too because that cool, you know, the cool started to cool fast enough. Like,
Yeah.
bang.
Straight click, right. And
That was crazy.
that's why it was so funny. So
I
if
got a
you ready,
question.
go ahead.
I got a question for anybody that's on the live, and I know we don't have a whole lot of people waiting, but at what point do you go from being, you know how you were talking about earlier about training, right? People getting trained. So at what point do you think a person is capable of being considered professional?
Oh shit. That's a good question.
Like at what level of experience does it does all of that count? Because I always wonder, like, where at what level do you, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people got firearms. I had one. Now, do I consider myself a professional? No. I never even honestly thought about it. Have I taught people how to use firearms? Yes, I have.
Right.
But do I consider myself to be professional? I never even gave a thought. Like some people say, oh, go get certified here. But again, a certification still comes from someone else. It's not like,
Fact.
you get what I'm saying? Like, rather you got a certified or you don't, you either good at what you do or you don't. That's just me personally, my personal opinion. So at what point do you say to yourself, that's a professional person, a gun owner, a gun. They're good at enough at their job at what they do to be able to teach or train other people. Like, where does that lie? I don't know if there is even if there where that lies or where that point is at. But
Right,
I
right,
was
right.
when you was talking about it, that question kind of hit my head. Like, at what point do you consider a person to be a professional um gun person or gun? I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that make guns, like
Right.
gunsmith. I'm talking about someone that trains or teaches or feel they on the level where they can consider themselves a professional gun um, user or trainer or whatever way it go.
An instructor. A gun
Yeah,
instructor.
or instructor, gun instructor. And I'm not talking about based off of somebody giving you a certification because I've seen
Right.
some of that.
That just means you book smart. That's
Yeah,
all that
that's
means.
fine.
But the actual hands-on, that's a very good question, and I'm gonna have to flow with a concept that might be overlooked. I would have to, I would have to say the best persons, whether they're male or female, that would be considered to be expert instructors on using firearms would have to be people who are former military,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
And let me elaborate why. First and foremost, we have to understand that former military people, male or female, they get taught on an array, a plethora of weapons.
Okay.
Okay, because the concept is that even as you are trained with the one weapon you are given, when you go into combat, you are going to come across other kind of weapons, and you need to know how to utilize those weapons in the event that your weapon stalls, doesn't work, and or you lose control of it and you have to obtain one that's on the ground or laying around or take it from another person. So you have to know how those weapons are utilized and the
Okay.
functionalities of them. So I think, in my opinion, a former military person would be considered an expert instructor behind a firearm.
I can go with that. I can go with that. I can see your point. I mean, I'm quite sure that there's other people that might not be, but I honestly I can see your point because I can rock with it.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
if you don't mind, let's elaborate on that for a moment.
um, like I like I said. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, no, there's other people that's not former military," and that doesn't mean that Jay is right or wrong.
No,
It's just
this is
that's
my opinion.
his perspective. And honestly,
Okay.
for the most part, I'm on board with that. And not to say that no someone that is non-military can't be. I actually have to rock more so with what he said because the variety of firearms that you're probably going to come across through training using the level of military equipment is by far better than what you have as a civilian.
Right, right.
Um, so I would have to rock with that. Like I really have to rock with that. And I think I'm not I'm not saying all military because that don't mean that all military would be, but I think that will lay a great foundation to be considered professional. The best, probably one of the best foundations for being considered a professional trainer. And I actually have to rock with you with that, Jay. I really don't. I mean, I know that there are other people that could, but I actually have to rock with that because, um, for that very reason. Now, of course, you got civilians that like, all right, I'll give you one right now, and Jay, you're probably gonna agree with me. I think justice runs on diesel.
I was thinking the same thing.
Now, I think he was in the military. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna say
He wasn't in the military. He trained with the military.
right. So because of the level, like everything that we talked about, he's had his hands on. He's
Yes.
fired, shot, use it,
Yep.
can give you his opinion on it, can give you
Yep.
details on it, how it feels. So he is another one that I would say, yeah. So
Right.
um, when you look at people like that, and I would say, yeah, that those type of people, yeah, I would consider professional because I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen some trainers
Ooh.
that I wouldn't listen. I've seen some trainers, and I'm being honest with you, that I would not want. I wouldn't let them train an eight-legged spider how to shoot a web. You know, you wouldn't have like, and I'm being honest with you because, like, and I know Jay, you seen the video too when the guy was a trainer and he was telling people how to use that. I think it looked like a 44 Magnum or whatever it is. And he shot that thing, and it went off accidentally. And they was like, "Did you mean to do that?" He's like, "Yeah, I meant to do." No, you didn't. And I've been to gun ranges where they wasn't training, but they wasn't keen enough to see so many of the mistakes that
Right.
people were making at the gun range. Because a
Right.
real person that knows about gun, real training, would have spotted a lot of stuff that I thought that they should have spotted. To the
Right.
point where me and my son at the time, my son was at that time at the ranges at a couple of these moments
Right.
where we were so uncomfortable, we packed up and left.
You could go.
So if we see it
Right. That's
and
for
we
sure.
see it more than once to the point where we've gotten so uncomfortable that we had to leave because we thought was there was an accident about to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Because
So we packed up and we wrote. So
absolutely.
yeah, there are
That's
people
the
that
smart thing to
train
do.
on firearms that I would never, ever, ever let one to have any training done for. And that's why I've been. And listen, I am not one to sit there and tell you that I am a professional when it comes to training people. I have
Okay.
trained people. I train people based on the level that not of knowledge that I have. But the one thing I always say to them is, if you want to get good at this, go get real training. I can
Right.
only teach you to the level that I know. I can,
Right.
and I only can teach you because I only shoot what I own. I
Right.
don't, I don't go rent this, rent that, rent this, rent this. I work with the stuff that I own because in my mind, if something was to happen, I'm going to know how to use what I have, and I
Right.
want to be good at what I have. That's just common sense. But I don't like I said, I'm not saying that we're both right, but I actually have to rock with you with that one because I think that lays a great foundation to be a great trainer, and I don't think there's going to be too many people that can compete with that.
And and I give credit to many, many, many instructors out there. And just like you said, it even as you have a certificate saying that you can actually be an instructor, it does not mean you have the actual hands-on experience. Because again, I've had the pleasure of watching many individuals over the course of 3 decades be taught on weapons, taught how to fire weapons, shown different kind of weapons. And unfortunately, I have to say the only ones that I've always stood 10 toes down with are former military, especially those that have had many, many, many years of what they are considered. Oh, damn, just had a brain fart. Deployment.
Okay.
Those that have had various amounts of deployment are the ones that tend to really understand what a weapon's about. And again, if I was to say, okay, let's try this off a side. If you and I both went to the same gun range and we actually instruct how fast he or she can disassemble and assemble a 9mm, we already know the fastest time frame, and we know who it was done by. And if that person, as an instructor, cannot even come close, can they be considered an instructor?
Yeah, I don't know. I really, honestly, I don't know. I can't. Like I said, that was just a question that ran through my head when you first started talking about instruction. I'm like, so what do you really consider to be a professional instructor? So it's like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Right. And let's
I,
understand something. I have to play devil's advocate. All right,
go
just
ahead.
because if you was in the military, not you, the instructor was in the military, and they only served 10 years. No, that's not enough to me. Because just because you serve 10 years in the military does not quantify you as being an instructor. That's just my opinion. I believe that if you have minimum 15 years, 27 deployments, then I'm gonna say, well, shit, I'm gonna have to rock with you on that one, because 27 deployments means you have encountered 27 different countries with a plethora of different assortment of weapons that you had to put into your hands in order to utilize and fire. So I narrow it down because I believe, how they say the same thing like a person that drives a car. Many of us drive cars, and many of us feel that we're the better drivers than anybody else on the road.
I am.
Man, we know you don't be doing no 85, no 60 mile an hour zone. What the hell's wrong with you? No, that's my point.
Right.
So we look at, what considers a good driver? Years of driving. That's a good driver, not an expert driving, just a good driver.
I'll play devil advocate with that. I have to disagree with that one.
Go ahead. Explain to me
I think
how.
there's
Let's
something that you're
debate
leaving
this
out.
one.
Because I think it's something that you probably wasn't considering.
Go for it.
Let's say you got two people that have been driving for 30 years, right?
Okay.
One accident free, one get in an accident every 2 years.
Okay.
That's the point that was where I was going with it. All right, so if the person that's banging out their cars every time you turn around, but they've been driving for 30 years.
Right.
Are they still considered professional?
I see where you're going.
Right.
Now, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench at you. What if the accidents are not that person's fault and it's another driver that's hitting them all the time? Wow. So they've been driving for 30 years and they have 2 accidents every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, are they at fault or is it always the fault of someone else?
Well, then I'll be questioning why. Because I know some people that know how to make them happen.
Look, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't like driving in Pennsylvania. You damn drivers in Pennsylvania, y'all think that left turn means any direction other than where you're going.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
Maryland is another one. Every time I drove up north, I despise going to Maryland. I know we're getting off topic. I despise going through Maryland. I despise going to Pennsylvania. And hell, I even despise going through Jersey.
I think Jersey is the worst.
No. Mm-mm. New York is the worst.
I think New York because it's just overcrowded.
People drive.
I remember when I was in New York, the one time I was in New York. Yeah, New York is a problem. I was on Fifth Avenue at the Marriott Hotel. This is when I didn't realize that New York at that time had so many taxi cabs.
Ugh.
I was so intrigued by the amount of taxi cabs. I was sitting, of course, I'm in the hotel way up in the nosebleed of the hotel. I'm looking out the window. Every time a red light was there and the car stopped, it's like 6, 7 cabs. It's like more cabs than regular cars. I'm like, why they got so many cabs around here? Now, New York cab drivers are the worst. They think they're the only ones on the road.
Like people from Maryland, people from Georgia, and hell, even some people down here.
Now, I'm going to tell you like this. People that I realize down south, everybody drives fast and south. I used to think people in down south just drive slow, and that was not the truth. Everybody down south, when they on that highway, if you ain't going 80 plus, you going too slow.
That's a fact.
If you ain't going 80 plus, you going too slow.
That's a fact.
I was like, man. Even in even being in Philadelphia, if the speed limit is 55, they might average at 65.
Yeah, I can
Now,
see that.
sometimes you might get some people to push the envelope, but if you're looking at the regular traffic, 65. Now, the only one you might see faster is when they're on 95. If it ain't that much traffic, then you might see them hitting, 75, maybe close to 80. But when I went down south and I was driving 75 miles an hour, everybody was, whew, whew, whew. I'm like, I'm at 75. If I go any faster, they're going to pull me over and they're going to write me a ticket.
Yeah,
I'm like, so of course, y'all got down there 70 miles an hour. I think there's some places where it's 75 on speed limits. That means that they're allowed to go 100.
well, I know we're getting off topic, but yet it's just a funny thing we're talking about. The law says that if you're doing under 70 miles an hour in the left lane, you're impeding traffic.
Uh-huh.
That's the law. The law requires you to move over and stay on the right lane if you're doing 75.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do 80, 85, 90 on the left lane. And there's
That's
a
so
reason
they
for
can
that.
pull you over.
Exactly. That's exactly why.
Man. They're encouraging you to fund the police department by going too fast. Boy,
Absolutely.
you got chicken money because you about to get one.
You're about to get one. And trust me, they do give them out. They do. I haven't got one yet, but I know they do. I see them all the time. All
That's
right,
crazy.
so roll back that footage. Let's get back into the gun talk before we wind up going into another topic. So again, we're gonna give a big old shout out to Survival Sisters on this content that I've come across, and I want to show you this one, and let's talk about this. Okay, let me pause it right there to give you an idea of what's happening. What we're not able to hear is ding, ding, ding. She's hitting every single target.
Yeah, I seen the target move when the camera did get there. You could see the target moving,
Right.
but they didn't keep it there. But in a little brief moment, I did see the target move.
What I enjoyed most about this one video before I finish it off is
Right.
her stance. Her stance was spot on to absorb all the recoil from that weapon. She was not flinching whatsoever in any moment while she was firing that weapon. That goes to tell me she is being trained correctly to absorb and focus on making sure that that weapon hits that target. Let us continue.
I was about to point that out, but I'm quite sure everybody caught it.
Which was what?
The training is great, and I agree with you 100%. But the one thing they should have told her is to tie up that goddamn hair.
I agree. I agree.
Because that brief moment where you got to go like this is covering your eyes, falling in your face. And I know they training, but again, if you're in a real life situation, that hair is exactly what I'm going to try to wait for you to go. Try to sweep that back, try to get it out of your way. And that brief moment when you're doing this, that is the moment where you might become if you're
Split
faced with an
speed.
enemy, right, you might become what I would say. So my thing is this. Listen, I agree with you 100%. I think her stance, the way she's absorbing the recoil and her control, um, to get back, her aim, her control, everything, her stance, all of it.
Yep.
Muscle memory looked like she was trying to keep it intact. So
Yep.
I don't take nothing away from what she did, but and with all of that great stuff, that one thing that I think that they should have told her before they even got started, tie that thing up.
And I had and here's the other funny thing. I want to piggyback off what you're saying,
Okay.
and I want to add one other thing that I'm not sure if anyone else noticed. Even as she's training, even as she has an exceptional way of standing, absorbing, muscle memory, functionality, all that. As you mentioned, her hair, that's fault number one. Fault in my eyes, fault number two is she didn't have proper ear covering.
Right.
Because even as you're training, you're supposed to have ear covering because that gives you even more focus time for you to actually block out any other noises and also gets you to learn the weapon that you're firing for. If it moves a specific way, you're not concerned about the sound. You're more concerned about how it feels in your hand versus the sound. Because I've seen where the sound of the actual projectile coming out of the cartridge and it continues to rack, that throws off the concentration of some people. Hence the reason why, if you ever notice, some people blink when
Right.
they're
Right.
firing a weapon. So
Right.
the covering of the ears will force them to always look at that flip, 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 flip,
Right.
flip, flip, regardless. That's
Right.
just me. That's just me.
Now I
You know?
think military probably be trained where the sound because they want to get used to it. Because if you're out in a situation where you're firing and they firing at you, that's going to be sound everywhere.
The
I
only
don't
thing,
know. I'm not in the military. I'm just assuming that if I'm training in a military type situation, I think the sound where initially would be a distraction because you now, honestly speaking, when we get to the distraction part, I think that's another reason why I think it's good to be at a gun range when there's more people there sometimes, so that you keep hearing all that going on. Because I kid you not, my daughter, man, when she was jumpy, like, because she didn't want to touch, she didn't want to do it, she didn't want to shoot, she didn't want to do none of that.
right, right.
She just she's a girly girl like that sometimes. So eventually she did, but she didn't
Right.
want
Okay.
to. But I think a lot of that when you in that atmosphere, because I know the first time I went to the gun range, I was because it was so much going on, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, it's this. But after a while, you hear it
Get
so
used
much,
to it. Yeah.
you get kind of used to it. So I think to some extent, um, like I wear earplugs because I protect my hearing because
Right.
guns are just loud. Now I don't know if they had something to suppress the sound with that, and maybe that's probably why she didn't have it. I didn't. We would have to go back and watch the video to see if there was some form of suppressor on there,
Right.
but I wasn't even looking at that. I don't think I saw a suppressor on there. I just think that it
I
was
did. Yeah, it wasn't.
um, but that means that it was probably pretty loud unless she had those real small plugs
I
inside
think
her
she had the.
ears.
I think she had the construction plugs, which I
Yeah,
disagree with. Those things, I
I don't like them things. They almost useless.
yeah, I agree.
Like the ones that I have to cover my ears,
Yeah, I
and
think that's the best one.
yeah, and the ones that I have, they have a knob on them, and it has sound control.
That was a real good one.
Yeah,
That's a
so
real
they
good one.
you can turn them up, and not only you hear the sound, you hear people talking. So I don't have to do this. Like how
Right,
people, what'd you say? Huh? What? You don't have to do none of that. When you turn them on, it picks up all the sound, and you control the amount of sound you actually get into your ears, and it will make sure that it's not loud. So if you firing every sound when they firing off the guns, you'll hear it,
right.
but it's all at the same level, nothing just higher or lower. It just so. But if somebody say, "Hey, around whatever," you can hear every sound that's going on. So the ones that I have are pretty good ones. I spent some money for them, but
That sounds like a real excellent choice that you made there.
oh yeah,
On
yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't even know they made them. What happened was, I was using those plugs, and I was like, I don't like these. And then I went back to the gun show, and I said, yeah, I want to get me a pair, a decent pair covers my ears. And first I was like, I'm gonna get me some little 10, 50, like some $20 ones.
right, right.
But then I started asking questions. And then the guy started explaining, oh, this does this does that, this does this. And I was like, oh. And then he had one, he opened it up, he put it, and I put it on, and I could hear everything that was going on. I was like, yeah, nah, I gotta get these. So they ended up costing me like $80, which in my opinion was a
That's
good
still
money
not
to
bad.
spend. Well money
That's not
spent.
bad at all.
I mean, you put some decent, make sure you got good batteries. And what I would tell you to do is this is something that I do. If you go buy you some, whenever you're not using them, take the batteries out of them. Don't leave the batteries sitting inside them because what people forget about batteries is that they corrode
That's true.
and they will tear up your electronics. So
That's
any
also
moment that you're not using it, take the batteries out. That way they're not in there. You don't damage your air corrosion and stuff set in where it's the battery explode or something, and now you didn't damage some $80, maybe $100, depending on what you pay for them. And so these the ones that I have. I actually I don't know. Let me see if I can reach them. I know they right here. See,
good
and
pair.
there's right here. There's a knob
Yep.
that controls the volume and stuff like that, and they're adjustable. They're pretty good. These are actually really good things, and they're really pretty good. So I like them, and they don't feel real bulky on your face neither. But these are pretty good. I paid $80 for them. It was money well spent.
Very much true. I agree with those. Those are the ones that I don't have any yet. I know of those because I've seen them at the gun range when I went. They're very, very good. Very, very good choice. Very good choice.
Worth every penny of it. And everybody that I went to the range with, and I let them put them on, and I was like, yeah, just try these on. When they was like, oh yeah, and they was like, man, I gotta go get me. If I got into gun now, if you're not into firearms, it's not something that you do on a regular basis. But maybe get you some cheap pair. But me knowing that I was going to go to the range quite often, and knowing I was going to spend, I wanted me a good pair, and I wanted a real good pair. Um, the only thing I don't have is some good glasses. Like I use my regular glasses, which works better because the cheap ones they give you they distort the way that they around your face. They distort your vision when it comes to aiming and stuff. So I just try to use my own glasses. I don't have wear glasses, but the ones that I have, I put on. They just regular decorative. They're not prescription. They just regular glasses. But at least they don't distort my vision
Right, right, right.
when I'm firing. But
All right, ready for one more?
yeah, what else we got?
I got this one here. Being that I believe it's the Dover dog said she's tactical. Let's take a look at this here. Again, we cannot produce any sound because we're not allowed to have any sound of firing.
Right.
Yet you should be able to get the gist of this.
Yeah, the first one the camera went back to needs work. The first one that they passed with the camera needs work. The one in the middle, a whole lot better, and the one on the end is probably will be the second place. With the one, I think she had a pink shirt on. But they, to me, I think, like I said, they in training, so they doing, in my opinion, the fact that you're there, you're doing great, you're learning the right
Yes.
way, and stuff like
Yes.
that. But the first one, um, you can tell they're not as comfortable.
Definitely not comfortable at all.
And then you can tell they're not comfortable. But that's what makes it good training, because you got to get to that point, like where you might watch yourself and realize you're not comfortable, but after a few while, next thing you know, you see yourself you handling the gun as opposed to it looking like the gun is handling you. Um, but yeah, you can see it in that person. They was and they kind of had that little high in the back part. It was like,
A little high, way
yeah, I
too high,
mean,
way too high.
right. And maybe it was just the way I'm looking at it. So we're gonna watch this again and see where this.
No, you are absolutely right.
But it looked like it was sitting more.
It was definitely not where it's supposed to be.
Now you see how they tuck down shoulder. You can see where
Right,
the position of the gun. But
right,
that first one, the first one that went past, when you'll see it when they run back to part what I'm talking about.
right
Right?
there,
See that? Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
The fact that
That
you can see, yeah. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
that's a bit concerning. I don't now. Here's the thing. I don't assume that it's wrong because I don't know what the person's physical problem is with them. But it's just no. I'm not saying it's what I'm saying is that some people have like arm shoulder issues, disabilities that we don't recognize.
Right.
Maybe slightly retarded. I don't know. I'm joking. But that just, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm
Because
gonna.
all right, you see where the end line of the barrel and the bump stop, whatever, everything, that should be, in the shoulder. Um, I guess at some point they'll probably start to teach them, you gotta, you're gonna have to get better at that. But I don't know. Maybe they got neck issues where they can't bring their neck down. I don't know.
Listen, I'm agree with you 100%. This young lady needs to be taught how to handle the weapon first before doing this kind of drill, because the sight should not be that
What's up,
high.
Mental Raccoon?
Mental Raccoon, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for stopping on through. In my view, my opinion, the actual sight should not be where her hat brim is at. No,
It
the
almost looks
sight,
like the hat is covering the sight.
exactly. The stock, the whole stock is supposed to be planted inside the shoulder. The whole
Right.
stock. The fact that there's partial of the stock exposed, that means that her recoil is not contained. She's going to
Right.
have a lot more recoil, which is not good, which could actually dislocate her shoulder if she had to fire multiple shots at one time. That's just me saying.
So, in
Okay,
my
again,
opinion, that needs to come down. She
I
needs to
agree.
lean forward more
I agree.
so that everything is in line and she'll be able to absorb the recoil a lot more than what she's at right now. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right.
I agree with you.
But that was like,
Okay. Right there. So right there, this tells me she's trying to focus through the sight and the scope at the same exact time.
Mental Raccoon said that's a broken shoulder with his gun. And I
I would
listen,
agree.
and it
I,
might be. Honestly, it would be with mine too.
I would have to agree. Look at where her hand is positioned on the grip. She has no recoil control.
Nah.
Zero. Her hand
Yeah.
is not even assisting to keep that recoil. because her
Yeah.
the web of her thumb and index finger should be a whole lot higher because there's no catch that's gonna bite her there. She's not gonna get any kind of bite from the actual weapon because that ejection is happening above, way above, at least two, maybe 3 inches. She has small hands, so maybe
This
two
is very
inches.
concerning.
Yeah, they did not teach her how to handle the weapon.
All right.
So
I'm gonna
in
explain
my
to you why
opinion,
this. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
she should not even be training like that.
Right.
In my
All right.
opinion.
That's where I'm going at with it too. The reason why I say this is very concerning because I remember looking back, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive they let off about a good 4 to 5 rounds, maybe even more, when they finally started shooting. All
Yeah.
right. So again, Jay, I'm one of those people that say, if I know you're not comfortable with a firearm, I'm not going to give you multiple rounds in that firearm. You're
Right.
only going to shoot one. And
That's
in
right.
just my opinion, this particular person right here, not the other two, but this particular person at this moment probably should have not have had that many rounds in that gun. Probably should not be even in this setting right now.
I agree.
Um, that's just my opinion on it. I think that person should be more individually wise taught.
Yep.
Um, got to the point where they're leaning forward more, tucking the gun properly, positioning themselves properly, not with nothing in that chamber before they got to this point. But hey, they're the trainers. I'm not. This is just my
Right.
opinion. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So it don't mean I'm right. I'm not trying to criticize nobody. It's just that right there, what I see is a little bit concerning. And Mental Raccoon said that that's a broken shoulder with my gun, and I get it. And we all kind of agree with the same thing with that. With
Yeah.
that being up high, because what y'all don't realize is that I'm surprised. I mean, they're probably shooting 22 caliber rifles, which probably
Right.
don't have a whole lot of kick. I'm hoping. But if you was to do that right there with that 458 SOCOM, you'd be crying with tears on the eye right now.
Yeah.
Or hang a 12 gauge. Yeah.
12 gauge. Listen, on both weapons you just mentioned, I think she would actually crack her shoulder,
Yeah.
collarbone.
Thank God she's not shooting a 308, 12 gauge.
Or like Mental Raccoon said, bolt action.
Right. Yeah, she'd be in trouble.
She'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I mean,
Yeah.
again, not saying not taking anything away from the instructor. Yet,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in my opinion, this woman should not be doing that kind of drill. She has
Not
not
right now.
learned. She has not learned the AR platform yet to be doing that
Right.
kind of drill.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
I think that was I think that's a bit premature for her right now. I'm not saying that everything she's doing is just all wrong. I just think looking at what I see right now, I think that she should have been she wasn't ready for this right now.
no. Well,
But
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, and I'm going to say they should not have let her on there. Period. If you look at her wrist, look at the position
yeah,
of her wrist. She has no
yeah.
control over it whatsoever. So now her
If
wrist
you
is like this.
I want I'm right. That's what I'm saying. If you look at this and all you got to do is take your arm and do like this with your hand and then try to see how hard you can actually squeeze. You can't.
Can't. You got no.
Because
You
it's
got
not
no.
natural. Right. You can't.
Exactly.
If you got that much bend, you lose strength. That
That's right.
means that if you fire recoil, you can accidentally drop that gun, or maybe even misfire or kick another round off without intentionally doing it because you don't have it grip right. But
That's
this is
right.
my opinion. I
Nope.
am not a professional,
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not a
but
professional.
from
I'm
my
gonna agree with you.
experience, it's not a good look.
So here goes another look. If you look at the position of her hand again,
Mm-hmm.
once again she's going into a drop of a 45-degree angle.
Right.
45-degree angle drop should be vertical, or not vertical, diagonally rather.
45.
45-degree angle with the weapon.
Right.
Because if you have to draw up again, you have to be able to keep that wrist straight to get that full power that you need in that trigger finger. But again,
like this is a bit awkward for me to watch, but
now look right there. Lost total control of that weapon. Let me back up a second. Watch how she loses total control of the weapon. Watch when it drops. That's a total loss of the weapon. Because in the moment of what we consider, okay, in the psychological world, fight or flight, at this moment, she's got both going, but she has no control over that weapon. Look at how she's, most of the weight, if we look at it this way, she's holding the weapon with her left hand where the magazine is at.
Yeah. Like, I don't, there's a whole lot wrong with this picture, but I just,
Now,
like,
again,
honestly, if you look at this right now, it almost looks like the gun is in more control of her, even though we know the gun is not really doing that, but it's just a figure of speech that I'm using, is that it looks like the gun has more control over her than she has over the gun.
this is
And
true.
all right, I want y'all to look at where her hand is holding onto that magazine, right?
Go ahead, Ron.
What
I
are the
know.
chances of that magazine being pulled out of there?
There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it because I was thinking the same thing.
Now, the other thing is that if that magazine is shifted or moved, there goes gun jam.
Gun jam,
It's so, it's,
gun jam, and possible blowback firing with another round coming up when it's not
I
supposed
mean,
to.
listen,
So it shifts.
I'm telling y'all right now, I am not a professional, but
Neither am I.
I know firearms to some level, and I have AR-15s and I use them, and I know how they operate. I know when they fire off everything, how the whole system, the recoil, the gases, everything, and how any slightness off creates a problem.
This is true.
You know, this is just this one particular, and I know that she's in training, so we can't expect perfection out of him. But I really feel like
Well, you're right.
now, but I'm not done. I'm almost ready to move on from this video because it's really making me even more concerned, right? All right, so
All right. Here you go.
all right, hold on, even before her. All right, so you're training 3 people.
Go ahead.
They all turn left
Right.
with loaded weapons.
Correct.
Even though they had them aiming downward. Now, at some point, they got to turn back around and fire, right?
That is true.
And you okay with this one? But no, go ahead and run the.
Look,
right.
Listen. I gotta be with you. I'm gonna be with you on this one. I totally disagree. This woman's not supposed to be there because
Why does it look like she's walking on crutches right now?
I thought she was gonna start trying to sweep the grass by having the damn stock underneath her her underarm.
Right. You know how like crutches.
Yeah, like crutch. You like when you're getting ready to pick up, you got the dustpan and you gotta, sweep up the stuff. Why is it underneath her underarm? It's always supposed to be locked into the shoulder. And here's the worst part. Look how she has 4 fingers on the magazine near the release switch.
Right. I told you, I said everything is so much.
Now, technically, the instructor is probably, like we said in the beginning of the segment, what does it take to be an instructor? Is it book smart, or is it actually what we consider street smart or physical knowing? None of these women should all have turned at the same time, because technically, it's supposed to be one turn, second one turns, third one turns.
Right.
Because it always has to be someone watching what you're shooting at.
Right. First turn, start running.
Yep.
Second turn, start running, and make
Yep.
sure that you're not in line with each other.
Correct.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even have 3 people out there that's rookies. Like, if y'all experienced,
Now,
now
now,
what if somebody trip and fall?
now, right here, this is the reason why when you're training a group of people on how to what is called disperse, meaning
Yeah.
each individual is moving to a different position.
Hmm.
You notice how the girl in the pink shirt is ahead of the girl wearing all black.
Right. And that's what we were talking about.
So the girl in the pink is supposed to be the cover for the girl in the black. The girl in the black is supposed to be the cover for the girl in the white.
Right.
If you also notice, the girl in the black, she's holding the weapon with one arm.
Yep.
So now you have no control over the weapon. Because if we watch when she comes to reset, she resets and she puts the weapon in her left arm. See?
And then running at you with loaded. I'm
This
sorry. I'm
no,
sorry.
listen.
I'm sorry.
We cannot be sorry because A is humorous and B again, we're not professionals, we're not
You
instructors.
sure?
With this kind of buffoonery, I'm
I'm
totally
starting to
against.
look like one right now.
Look, the girl in the black should not even been there, just like this
Yeah.
one here in the white shirt should not have been there. That weapon should never, ever, 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 ever have left her left hand.
Now here's the thing.
Go
If
for
you're
it.
training people with loaded weapons and they're running towards you with loaded weapons, one look at they all running towards where she's at. Now they got
Right,
their weapons down, but at some point they got to pick these weapons up, right? Watch
right.
the one in the pink. Go a little further. No further. Keep going. Now, yeah, I'm good. And so many. See this in the red? Look at the gun.
Yep.
She's turning towards her, right?
Which is towards the instructor.
Right.
So,
Where the pink one turned into?
yep, towards the instructor.
The only one ain't turned into the instructor yet is the one in the middle.
And that's only because she's in the middle.
Right. All
Yet
right.
she, yet she's the one with the weapon in one hand,
One
thinking that
hand.
she can manage it. So if she trips and that weapon falls out of her hand, that round definitely can go into the instructor forward. This is the reason why this is incorrect, in my eyes, in my opinion.
Now this is perfect. This is how you find out what not to do.
Now, they're going to take a couple of shots.
Yeah, see this is what I mean. Like,
Now, I want to back this up because I don't know if you caught this. Let me just back this up a couple of seconds. Watch the one in black. Why, in fact, if you're hitting a target, you're lowering your weapon when hitting a target?
so she wasn't finished?
No. Watch. I thought the same thing.
Okay.
Now there's more.
She about to get shot in the foot.
I'm gonna back this up a little bit so you can see this.
Right in the foot.
Right in the foot. Wait for it. Did you see it? You gotta watch. Watch the one in black. Did you see it? We're gonna do it one more time. Hand up high where it's supposed to be.
She
The
moved it
hand is
down.
where it's supposed to be.
And she moved it down.
And she moved it down. Onto the magazine.
Why, when you got a handle in front of all of that? So what's the point of that handle being there?
Like I
You got
said,
a whole one of these right there.
that's why I wanted to slow it down and play it a couple of times. I wanted you to catch what I caught. I still don't understand it.
Now I see when the hand went down, but
Why was
do
the
you,
hand in the wrong position in the first place?
why do you even have your hand there anyway when you got?
You have a forehand grip. You have a front grip. Why are you using the actual magazine to hold the gun?
Why take the risk of knocking the magazine out, hitting the button, or anything of that nature when you could just move your hand forward, which actually gives you better leverage with the gun, better control with the gun. All right, I'm good. I'm done.
Go on, we got more.
I'm glad I'm not professional, y'all. I'm not. I'm not a professional. I really isn't. I am really not a professional, y'all. I'm dead serious. I'm a rookie at this. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. I'm
You know,
clueless. They are by far better at this than I am.
you know, I
What's
we
up, Warrior? For Christ, sorry I ain't getting a chance. But I was just like,
we've sat and we've had conversation about firing weapons for some time now. And it was interesting enough that at the very beginning of tonight's segment, we was talking about what makes an instructor a good instructor or and a professional instructor. So this instructor right now is showing 3 women on what not to do.
this is water. But after what I saw, I wish it was liquor. And I don't even drink.
I mean, it was very, very disturbing to see those 3 women being taught how to utilize an AR platform weapon incorrectly. 100% incorrectly. A
And they will
hand should
argue
never
me
go
down.
anywhere near the magazine.
And they probably will argue me down and say I don't know what I'm talking about. If I was to get involved and say, I think what you're doing is very dangerous. Somebody's going to accidentally get hurt the way you're handling this right now.
Yep.
And you know what I would probably get out of that? Argue with, fuss that you don't know what you're talking about. And then they'll jump on some, oh, hey, you men always think y'all know everything. I just don't want you
That's
to
very
die.
possible.
I just don't want you to die. That's it. Like, I just watched her swing a gun that looked like it could have possibly shot you in the foot.
Very much
I
true.
just watched somebody put a gun, the butt stock of a gun, way on their shoulder. Not
Right.
even the most meaty and solid part of your shoulder. You got it sitting up here,
Facts.
where it should not even be positioned like that. She's not leaning forward. If she leaned forward, she would absorb better. She had better control over that gun and absorb the recoil a whole lot better. You're
Right.
not pointing that out. You do a whole video and you don't point that out and you don't correct that before you do a video. So you don't think that that's okay.
Correct. I'm glad you said that because you are absolutely 100% correct.
But
Now, if they put the video out because it was kind of cute, hey, okay, it's cute. Is it improper? 100%. Okay, Wolverine. That was completely improper. I mean, totally, in my eyes, in my opinion, improper training. Completely.
Yeah. And it's funny because me and you didn't talk about none of this, right? And my thought in my head was, what makes somebody a professional trainer? Because I heard you talking about they was getting training, but then I thought like, well, what is the actual professional train? Like, where does the professional trainer mark comes in where it says that you are professional? And of course, I'm not.
I'm not
Not a
either.
professional. Never claimed to be one. I know a
Nor
little
would I.
bit. I'm still in the learning stages of a lot of this myself. So I will never sit there and tell you that what Ron says, for Ron's opinion don't matter. It's right. I'm just making an honest observation of what I see from the video that was displayed to me by Mr. Factacular himself. And I don't know. I guess maybe I'm overcautious. Maybe that's what it is.
No, no.
Maybe
There's,
I'm overcautious.
there's, 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 there's no such thing as over cautious when it comes to a weapon, especially in the hands of someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
I think I'm just overcautious. Ron, stop monkeying around. You're just overcautious. That's it.
Well, let's look at it like this. We are two individuals that are, I want to say, weapons connoisseurs because we like weapons, we understand weapons, we look at what's the importance of the weapon and the safety behind a weapon versus trying to teach a bunch of people how not to utilize the weapon and or handle the weapon. And we're just exposing things that should not be done when there's someone calling themselves a trainer. Because if you
Who's
teach
the whole
somebody how
Ron?
to hold on, what's this? If you teach somebody how to drive a car and they only teach them how to turn left,
And he
and they keep
qualify for NASCAR. He's making a left turn.
in one direction.
Another left turn.
It just happens to be that point where it's it's absurd, honestly.
I almost wish I didn't even like. I'm being honest with you. I don't like to be. That was just concerning to me. Like always, the more I watch, the more concerned I got. And
I
like
want. Go ahead.
I might it's be, and I'm saying that I might be overcautious. Like that's the only reason why I'm like, there's so many things that could have possibly went wrong in this that makes me extremely overcautious. And that's why I said I might be the one that's wrong because I might be actually you just being over safe or over cautious. I don't know anymore how to say it, but I see multiple rounds in firearms that people are not don't look that one. I'm gonna say the one of them definitely wasn't comfortable with what they were doing. So you got multiple rounds in these firearms where they're taking these firearms and running,
Right.
spinning,
Right.
repositioning themselves, and
Right.
boom, 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 boom. Now I'm hoping they were shooting blanks. I'm hoping that what was in them things was blanks. And they
Okay.
just had it set up so you get the recoil and everything else, but there's no actual bullet coming out. That's if it was nothing coming out of the firearms, then I would say, okay, we good. I can settle down and it's not that serious. But if it was live ammo coming out of those firearms and you was training this way, go.
would dum-dum shells be considered live ammo?
What do you mean?
Well, dum-dum shells don't have dum-dum shell. In other words, dum-dum shells are considered blanks, but you still
Okay.
get the projectile and you still get the actual firing because that's what they had.
So what is dumb? So what is the dum dum part? If something is shooting out at a massive speed, so all right, and what's coming out of there? Rubber? What are they? Rubber bullets?
Remember how we watched?
Honestly speaking, I've never heard of dum dum shells, so this is new to me. Never
Okay,
ever heard. I've heard of
the only reason
range
why.
ammo. I've
Go
heard
on.
of blanks.
Okay,
Range rounds, right? Meaning
range rounds, right?
rounds that considered for the range
Dum-dum
because they
bullets.
cost a lot. I've heard of blank rounds, which is basically just you get fire, recoil, nothing, no projectile. What is dum dum rounds if something is projecting out of it? I'm just saying. I might be
I'm
the
only
dummy here. Cool.
listen. I'm only going because I seen one of the magazines was wrapped with blue tape.
Okay.
Blue tape usually means it's dum-dum rounds. Means the rounds are not. They could only, from what I remember, because it's been many years ago. It allows the bullet to come out, but the bullet doesn't go far. It drops. It
All right.
doesn't
Did we
have.
see
It doesn't
anything
have
drop?
enough. It doesn't have enough gunpowder in it. Just enough for it to and then drop.
So then you shouldn't get much recoil.
You shouldn't.
Well, I seen recoil.
Like I said, I didn't say it was on all of them. I saw one of them wrapped with blue tape.
That blue tape wasn't for the dum dum rounds. That blue tape was for the dum dum. They keep knocking the damn cartridge out every time.
Now I
They
could be
said, you
wrong.
knock this clip out one more time. They had to tape the clip to stay in the gun. I'm joking, y'all.
It's been a long time for me since I seen dum dum rounds.
I don't, man, look.
I've seen
Hey,
people. Look, I've seen
I
it.
know people need to be trained. I get it.
That's not training though.
Right.
That's giving a false sense of understanding what those weapons do.
Man, that for me personally, that was just very concerning. And I hope everybody's still alive. I hope nobody got shot. Nobody got hurt. No accidents. I hope that video went across very smooth, even though it wasn't smooth. Just, I don't know. For me personally, and I might be over critiquing all of this. I don't know. It just, and I wasn't looking for nothing wrong. I was looking to enjoy the video. And then I watched. And then I got concerned. And that's all I was looking to do was enjoy the video. And then I watched. And then she ain't no small target neither. So they turn around, they go hit her no matter where they shoot.
I know. I think it's the one that was wearing pink with the pink shirt.
With the blue tape, you mean?
Yeah.
Man, look at the curve on her wrist, man. Like she ain't got.
You see that?
Look at that. Like, it looked like it hurt. It's been so bad.
I think it was. Oh, that's the one right there.
I don't know if that's tape. I think that's just that's a blue ribbon around the bottom of the what's your name? It's just a blue part of the clip.
That's what that is?
Yeah, it's just blue on the bottom part of the clip. It's just the bottom part of the clip is blue at the bottom. I've seen clips like that.
Well, I thought it was a marker.
Magazines. That's just the blue part of the magazine. So it's probably a rubber part to the bottom part of the magazine.
Okay.
That's probably all it is. I mean, but Jay, I wish I would have never saw this video, man. Like,
my bad, Ron.
Honestly, because usually we watch video, we enjoy the video, and we might see stuff but that really was like, that was really starting to worry me, man. Because I'm like, I hope they went back and watched this footage and saw what we saw and said we can't do this like this no more.
Well, if it did happen, the only thing I can, if I had the power to say something like that, I would say that the person that was training them gets removed as an instructor.
Yeah,
That's what I would say,
they need to
because
be
that woman,
re-instructed. They need the
she
instructor need to be retrained on safety first at all times.
at all times,
Safety first,
and really
all
truly
time.
understanding what disbursement is all about. To
Right.
have all three of them turn around at the same time was stupid, because now if they were being shot at, who's going to know where they're shooting from? If they were actually in a situation where government tyranny was coming at them, neither one of them would know who was shooting at them. They would not even know if the ones that were coming at them were preparing to flank them, because all three of them were facing the same direction, running away. So how would they even know if they were getting ready to be flanked?
They wouldn't, because they all three running at the same time. As soon as they turned around and ran away, I'm like, oh, this is too easy. Poop, poop, poop. I shoot them all in the ass.
That's it. Forget about trying to easy targets.
Mm.
Easy targets, because now
I
all
shoot
three
all
are
three of them.
facing.
They all get shot in the ass. Why? What happened? We all got shot in the ass. Why? Because
All
we
got
all
shot
ran
in
at
the
the
ass
same
because
time.
everybody's
There
running the
wasn't
same
one
direction.
person or two, one person going back, the other two possibly holding it down. Okay, go. Second person,
That's
wait, and but
that's
because the other person already turned around and holding it down, second
while
person,
the other two are running
go.
towards them.
While they
Absolutely.
running down, and then the third person, all right, ready, go. Why? Because if somebody's firing, you can hold the person down that might be firing at you while you both
Suppressing the
reposition
fire.
yourself.
Yes.
But I mean, I know this is
Suppressing the
just
fire.
training, but I don't
No,
know.
that's absolutely right. Because technically it should have been the girl in the white shirt. She should have took off first while the other two stood there. She should have went midway, not the full length. If she was supposed to go 20 yards, she was supposed to stop at 10. Position herself and let the second one come up past her, go past her, and then watch the third one pull off and run.
They
So
all
that one
should
in
have
the
turned
white was
around.
supposed to be the point to lay suppression fire.
They all should have turned around and
All
looked
three
at
of
the
them turned around.
instructor. They all should have
Towards the
turned around, looked at the instructor, and said, and pointed and said, "I want my money back and get a new instructor because what you're teaching is bullshit."
is bullshit. And then of
And
course
listen,
the
I'm
one.
sorry, y'all. I'm joking
No,
around, but
listen,
there's
the
a
fact of
whole
the
lot.
matter is the fact of the matter.
There's a whole lot in this video that's concerning me because one thing I don't want to see is accidents happening, and the
Listen,
fact that she's holding that firearm with the clip the way she's holding it. I mean, the magazine, because some people they don't like it when you say clip. I don't care. It's still clip to me. I'm
it's
from
a
the hood.
clip,
It's
it's a
what we do.
magazine, whichever way you look
Right.
at it.
Well, but um, the fact that she's holding that magazine the way she's holding it gives that magazine a chance to get out of position or possibly fall out, accidentally hit the eject button. There's so many things wrong with that to me, in my opinion. And it's like, who finished this video out, posted it, and said this is good product.
Well, maybe they said they put it out to say this is what you're not supposed to do. I don't
Are they trying to get more customers?
know. Listen, I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
I you
All
say
I can say is that the one in the black should never have had a weapon in her hands. The fact that she was running away with it in one hand. If she doesn't know the terrain that she's running
bro.
on,
I still blame
and
the
she just
instructor
happens to
because
hit a
neither
twin,
one of these. I still blame the instructor because none of them should have had loaded weapons.
absolutely. Of
None of them
course.
should have been in a position where they had. Now, if you was running that just running as a drill to teach them, and there's nothing in the firearms and they're clear, nothing, and you're just running a simulation, then and you're trying to give people and yeah, okay, there's nothing in the firearm, but everything in me says, thank God nothing happened.
What is the number one rule about a firearm?
Assume every gun is loaded.
Absolutely. So whether it's unloaded, doesn't have a magazine clip in it, it don't matter. It's always loaded. So you are
Right.
supposed to always think and know that the weapon is loaded.
But this is the reason why I'm saying that the fact that you're using live ammo,
Right?
the fact that you're using gun, like you could have did this with just a fake gun, just to run the simulation and say, well, do you think that this is a good idea? What we doing? If you did it a couple of times, now how many times have we watched this video? Once.
Right?
And we already started pointing out without trying to, we just is like, I caught certain things, you caught certain things.
Facts.
And we was like, and here's the thing, the video was for enjoyment. We was not trying to critique the video. We just wanted to see it. And then it turned into this. And it's like my head hurts right now because I'm so like, who's, and I might be wrong. Somebody might come back and say, you don't know what you're talking about, and check me and correct me. And I'll be like, all right, yeah, you're right. I was wrong. But everything in me said that this picture was just so wrong.
No, and listen, I agree. I
And
agree
it's
100%.
concerning. I need
It,
to
it,
know those people are still alive.
it concerns me to know that there is someone out there teaching people how to get killed versus protecting themselves. Because
This
that's
is
just that
like,
it. If you allowed all three people to turn around and run in the same direction with laying no cover fire, no suppression fire whatsoever, that's
here's
telling
the
me you
thing.
want them to die.
Let me Delaware dog, right? He's military. Been in the military for quite a bit some time. I
Right?
know 100% that he is probably way better with a firearm than I am.
Okay.
Why? He's military. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I'm watching a video of somebody's training other people. Now
Right.
again, I never served in the military.
Right.
Never. My experiences with firearms is based off of when I go, and a lot of what I am is very most of what I am is self trained.
Okay.
But I'm very conscientious about before I ever actually use a firearm. I watch massive amount of information, and I kept consuming.
Right.
I've gotten different people on different videos talking about how they shoot their, what they do when it as it relates to how they become sharper. I'm talking about handguns right now.
Right.
With their handguns, how they got sharper, how what they do, positioning themselves, aiming, and all the other stuff. And I've gotten different perspectives. Like I'm not gonna say that there was only one way because different people teach different ways, and I've sat and listened and I've tried different ways, and I realize that some there are small adjustments that people make that fits their body, their take on you using a firearm than others. Because if
Right.
you look at the police department back in the day, they changed how they train
Right.
because they used to have that what somewhat like what they call a weaver stance or some weird
Right.
stance, and then they started reshifting how they train. So I know we evolve. We learn from our mistakes and we evolve and we say, okay, this might have been good, but this was a better way of doing it. So I'm not going to say that one way is better than other. But I can
Right.
say is that I learned, I watched a lot of people handling firearms and I learned a lot from that before I even fired the firearm. But I'm going to tell you something. One time I'm at the range and I don't know if this guy was ex-military, police department, whatever. But
Okay.
when I say this guy's ability to handle that firearm made me just sit there. I stopped shooting just to watch him shoot because he was just that good.
Okay.
He the one to set the goal for me to say, okay, when I'm able to handle a pistol that way,
Right.
then I'm saying something. You get what I'm saying? Now he was draw fired. He was
Okay. Oof.
Now,
Oof.
where I go at with the draw fire, now the target is not like it turns.
Right.
So it'll turn the paper sideways, and then when it goes, it'll turn it back this way,
Right.
and you got a few seconds to shoot before it turns back the other way.
Right.
So this is where the range that I have, they have that setting where you can go draw fire into the end where it'll be like this. You know, you got your target, and then
Right.
it'll go, and it'll go, and
Right.
then and it's like a program, whatever. So I'm watching this guy practice on this, and this guy is lighting. When I say his groupings, like in at some point, it started to look like he just took a tank and shot one bullet, big giant bullet, right through the center of that target. Because
Okay.
that's how good he was shooting. And I'm saying, my point is that I'm watching this guy train, and you could tell that he was serious. He took his craft very, very seriously. Like,
Okay.
in my opinion, I was like, now that's how I want to shoot. Now, of course, I had to watch everything that he was doing. Can I shoot that well? No. Am I okay? Yeah. But based off of the standard that I know. But here's the thing. That he set the goal for me. I was like, okay. But I have to like using a handgun long enough to get that good because I get in there with the handguns and I forget I have handguns after about good 50 rounds. Now I'm the rifleman again.
Right. Right. Right.
That's just what I gravitate to. So it's hard for me. I'm like I would have to go to the range and just leave the handgun, leave the rifles and stuff at home, and only take the pistols and force myself to get that well. But he was very impressive. Like that was one of the most impressive firearms I ever watched at a gun range. And I've been at the gun range many. I've seen a lot of people shoot, but this dude right here he was phenomenal.
Right. Right.
Outside of everybody I've seen at the range, and I watch people shoot because I watch what's going on in the range. I don't just go shoot, get in my little cupboard, and I ain't worrying about. No, I watch what people are doing because I know sometimes people can be very careless in their functionalities. So I
Right.
have
Right.
to always, yeah, they got people watching, but I'm watching too. Because if
Right.
I see something uncomfortable, then I'm out. Now, the place I go to, I can honestly say I've never had that experience there. I've never had an experience where somebody was doing something where then the people there, the instructors there, didn't catch it and stop and quick catch it and try to stop it.
That's good.
They very, very, they're very, very watchful,
That's
and
good.
they don't leave anything for chance.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, right. So for me, that's why I like going there. I feel a lot more comfortable there because I feel like they're really, even if I'm watching what's going on, I know how keen they are and they're very, very watchful. Now, if they know what you're doing and they know you're a regular there and they know gun etiquette, they will kind of like leave you alone because
Okay.
they know you're not one of those people that they have to micromanage because you're a regular there. And just as it's almost like you work there like they work there
Right.
because
Right.
you right. And so that when I go there, they don't micromanage what I'm doing because they know my face. So they like,
Okay.
nah, this guy. When he comes or he bring a crowd there, he is just as much of an instructor and watching what they're doing just as much as anybody else.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that I don't know, man. Well, watching what we just watched, man, it's very concerning, man. I don't know if I'm gonna sleep well tonight with this one. But it was a good show, man. Good video. Um, I think it was a good show. I think it was a good video. I enjoyed it very, very much. And it just us sitting down, busting it up, talking about firearms. I know we got off course here and there. That's just
Facts.
part of the show, man.
Facts.
You got to make it fun. You know what I mean? I ain't getting in
Facts.
no water with no sharks. I don't care. We got to make it fun. We got to make it interesting. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But it was cool, man. That really got my concern, bro.
Well, thanks for having me on again.
Yeah. You really? Yeah, that was it was a good video because it was a learning. It was a lesson learned. I think it was a good
Right.
video because
Right.
all of them were good. But I think that one really kind of stood up a little bit more because it
Got
was
to
a
save the
lesson
best
learned.
for last.
But thank God nobody got hurt, but I really think, we really got to figure out we really got to deep dive into what is really professional.
We could
So
do
this
that
is
for the
what I
next
think
segment.
I think we should try to do next time. We need to, hopefully I get time to, between one of us. You'll probably get to it faster than I would, but I'm going to try. We need to find some real professional looking training and see the difference between non-professional and
Well, let's
professional.
do that. Let's
And so
both dive
let's
into
see
it, and then we could.
non-professional and professional. Like, so we'll play the game of, we're going to try to find enough videos say
Well, I already got three. I
non-professional,
already got three on my back end, so I'm good. I'm 2 steps ahead of you now.
professional or non-professional. So I gotta try to find some myself. Hopefully my life don't start getting hectic again. It's still been, but I'm gonna do my best to try to find some. What's up, Sean? How you doing, brother?
Sean, what's good?
Yeah,
What's
we getting
good?
ready to shut down, Sean. But glad to see you in the building. Hit the like button before you exit there for the buddy. We appreciate you. You know what I mean? Don't be trying to keep all that shit to yourself. I love it when Sean comes in, man. He makes it real interesting, man. But God bless you, my brother. I mean,
Likewise, brother.
yeah,
Likewise.
man. Yeah, we know. We got nothing but respect for Sean because we know on a day to day, Sean is always having a shitty day. So
That's right.
we definitely have a lot of respect for Sean. You know what I mean, there's Sean. Then there's the president, a little bit lower than that. Well, no, I'm sorry, Sean, Trashman, military, then the president.
Okay, I'll
I'm,
run with that.
I'm just kidding around, bro.
I'll run with that.
But y'all have a blessed day. Y'all have a
Yes.
wonderful time. Appreciate y'all for staying in and enjoy it for those that hung in there with us. It was a good show, man. But remember, next week, next show, professional or not professional. Is that what I said?
You changed it up
Something
a
like
little bit. Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
that. Yeah. So
We'll ironclad it for the next show.
yeah. So next show we have Firearms Fridays. We're gonna look for because the whole conversation was mostly about professional
Right.
and non-professional. So we're
Right.
gonna try to find some videos and we're gonna ask the audience a question of does that look professional or does it look non-professional?
Facts.
All right, brother. You have
All
a
right,
good
brother.
night, brother. Everybody
Likewise.
else, y'all have a
Likewise.
blessed, wonderful day. We out of here. Peace. Promo code 15% off. All your purchases, $35 or more when you buy that top to bottom hair and skin care. So make sure y'all use that OG Network 26 promo code. And with that said, we out of here. Peace.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.